is Week 7 in the National Football League. The Seattle Seahawks looking to end the three-game skid as they take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks have a great track record when it comes to these East Coast road games, and now they face a tough challenge in this Atlanta Falcons team that looks much different from what they were a season ago. Cousins has played relatively well. He's got some pretty decent weapons with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. The Seahawks come in as underdogs this week. Atlanta favored by 3, but you think about it, you get 3 points for being the home team. So Vegas says this is basically a pick-em at this point. The over-under set at 51. We'll go over my keys to victory. We'll break down the injury report, and I'll give you my prediction coming up at the end of today's show. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. If you're ready for game day, spam S in the comments section. I want to see as many S's as we possibly can. I need at least 300. I want you to get in that chat, get in that comment section as if you're sitting in your seats at Lumen Field. Let your voices be heard loud and clear. Get those S's in the comment section, and we'll get going here on today's show. Let's begin with the Seahawks injury report. As Artie Burns is out with a toe injury, he is on injured reserve. Meanwhile, Rick Woolen with an ankle injury, he is questionable. Byron Murphy II with the hamstring, he returned to practice this week, probable. He is likely to return to the field for the first time since the win against the Dolphins. Well, Trey Brown at the corner position, he is banged up with an ankle injury. He's questionable, so you can see the Seahawks a bit short-handed when it comes to the corner spot. The Falcons, couple injuries for them. They include Troy Anderson, their linebacker, questionable with a knee issue, and then Justin Simmons, who they brought on late in free agency, their starting safety. He's got a hammy issue. He is questionable. We'll see if those two end up playing or not. So what's it going to take to beat Atlanta? Let's start with our keys to victory, beginning with the pass rush. The pass rush has been pathetic the last couple of weeks. They've been on a milk carton. They've been MIA. Nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. Can we get a pass rush, please? Can we get some pressure for the love of all things holy on Kirk Cousins? The Seahawks did not have a single sack last week against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to Atlanta, they did a very good job of protecting their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, just last week, as they did not give up a single sack against the Carolina Panthers. Granted, the Panthers aren't that good, but still, that's not a great recipe, folks. There's one man in particular I'm watching for. That is our guy, DH Derick Hall, who leads the Seahawks in sacks. He's had a breakout season in his second year in the NFL. He's got 5 sacks in the first 6 games, 2 forced fumbles, 3 TFLs as well. I want to see Derick Hall step up. I want to see Boye Mafe, among others here, get the pass rush going, get pressure early and often on Cousins. That is going to be a big key to success to slowing down this Falcons offense. Who do you got? You going with the Seahawks or are you going with the Falcons? Type C for Seahawks, type ATL for Hot Atlanta. Get in the comments section. Let us know who you think is going to win on Sunday. I'll give you my prediction later, but I want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in, let us know. We'll be live right here on Seahawks Today for Seahawks and Falcons. Coming up this Sunday, our coverage begins with our hour-long pregame show at 9 a.m. Pacific. Kickoff at 10 a.m. to follow. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. It's going to be a great time. Make sure and join us. Seahawks Falcons live right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, and we will see you coming up on Sunday here on the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Number 2, run the damn ball. The Seahawks have gotten away from the run game the last couple of weeks, and I've said it about a bazillion times on this program, and I'll continue to reiterate. Ryan Grubb, this ain't college football anymore. You have to run the ball to be successful in the National Football League, and the Seahawks are not running the ball enough. Granted, their offensive line has not been helping them enough to get the run game going, and at times they're having to play from behind, but still, you need to establish the run to open up the passing attack. And think about this. K9, Kenneth Walker, started the year looking very good in his first 2 games. You go back to that fantastic performance against the Denver Donkeys when he had a great game. He had 20 carries that day, 20 touches. Now, compare that to what we've seen the last 2 weeks. He's only had 19 carries combined the last 2 games. So, does it take a genius to figure it out? So wait a second. You mean if I run the football, we win? And if we don't run the football, we lose? Imagine that. Now, think about this. I know the Falcons are a much different team now compared to what they were a season ago. But it is worth pointing out, last season, the Falcons were 2-9 when they allowed 100-plus rushing yards a game. And that's not just for an individual rusher. That's 100 yards for the entire team. So, as I've laid out, in all these steps here, it's pretty simple. You run the football effectively, you win. Got to get the run game going. That's going to be huge for this Seattle team to do so. Number 3 at our keys to victory. Let's turn our attention to JSN. Smitty and I were talking on Wednesday afternoon off the air, and it seems like the only time that the Seahawks are getting the ball to Jaxon Smith-Njigba is on 3rd down for like an 8 or 9 yard gain. Otherwise, he's been ignored. And think about this. They are making a big mistake ignoring Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I was going over some analytics on a Wednesday afternoon, and I found this to be fascinating. JSN leads the Seahawks in total catches with 34 so far this season. And he has a higher catch rate than DK Metcalf. DK's got more targets, but JSN's catching more passes, 69%. Nice. DK's catching about 57%. Now, DK's had a very good year, and hopefully both of them succeed, and they can use them both well. But get the ball more to JSN. He's catching more passes. He needs to be used more in space. We've talked about this before. Use him more in the vertical passing game. I want to see more JSN this week. And he feels like the secret weapon that's just being ignored at this point. Who will be the Seahawks MVP against the Falcons? Is it JSN? Is it K9? Is it somebody else? Get in that comment section and let us know who you think that is. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the best place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether they're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more. Look, we've all been there, folks, where we were looking for tickets at the very last minute, and we go to some shady guy, and he's like, hey, you got some cash? I'll sell you this ticket, and you don't really know if that ticket's real or not. Why take the chance with the shady folks outside the stadium when you can get on Game Time and the prices get lower the closer it gets to game time? Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. You also have their seat views, so you can get the visuals, see what your seat is like. Choose the event you want to go to, choose your seat, then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. So one of the reasons why Arthur Smith was fired as the Falcons head coach after last season was he forgot that he had Bijan Robinson in his backfield. Bijan Robinson, I think, is one of the best young running backs in the entire National Football League. And at times, we've seen the Falcons just totally forget that he's on their roster. And from what we've seen so far this season, when teams slow up Bijan, they lose. Their 2 losses this year against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs, Bijan's yards per carry was 3.8 or less. In the games they won, it was 4 and above. So if you can find a way to slow down Bijan Robinson, if we can finally see the run defense step up, and getting Byron Murphy back this week should be a big help, then by golly, you got yourself a chance to win this football game. If you can find a way to take down Bijan, slow him up a bit, that is going to be crucial for Seattle. Now, let me ask you, before we get to our final key to victory here, this is a game where I think we're going to have an answer to this question. Are the Seahawks a playoff team or not? Do you think that they get a win, and do we figure out that this is a playoff team? Do we get an answer to that question this week? Do you think they are a playoff team heading into this week? Y for yes, N for no. Get in the comment section, let us know. Last but not least on our keys to victory is forcing more 3-and-outs. Get your defense off the field quickly. It's simple as that, folks. And this shocked me when I was doing my research on this game to find out this statistic. Did you know the Seahawks defense has forced 3-and-outs on 36% of opponents' drives this season? So just about every third drive, they're forcing a 3-and-out. That's the best in the National Football League. That was surprising. That was shocking for me to hear, that they are the best at this as anybody. And one key player I look at for those 3-and-out opportunities is Julian Love, for what he can do from that safety spot, whether it's in coverage or whether you send him on a blitz, whatever it may be. When you get to those third down situations, I'm watching for Julian Love to make a play. To me, he is the difference maker, the guy to watch for. If you want to get those 3-and-outs, Julian Love needs to be your guy to step up in those 3-and-out opportunities. So to recap, our keys to a Seahawks victory this Sunday include getting the pass rush going. Watching for you, Derick Hall. Run the damn ball. You got some good running backs, use them. More JSN. Do what you can to slow down Bijan Robinson. Get the run defense going. Force more 3-and-outs. If the Seahawks do those things, they'll be in good shape. I like the Seahawks to bounce back, to end the losing streak, to stop the bleeding. 30-27. It's a high-scoring game. Our Madden sim we did at this game in the offseason was pretty high-scoring. Went into double overtime. Obviously, this game's not going to go into double overtime like the Madden game. But I think we're in for a good one Sunday. If you're ready for a Seahawks win, just go ahead and start spamming W in the comments section. Get those W's going, and we'll see you coming up on Sunday right here on Seahawks Today.